have acquired a relative status when it comes to education. So I own myself that responsibility to do that, which I'm accountable to my creator, accountable to my conscience, and above all, accountable to my historical records. That is what is, these are the strong factors. Any other thing one says or feels, you have the respect to feel or react the way you want to react. Now, let me start. We are talking about incoherency in the life of a leader. First of all, let us understand that when we talk about leaders are all over the world to learn from their mistakes, to learn from their, wise displays. Because the reason why I always want to broaden our minds from global perspectives, so that you don't think that the world revolves around your level. The world cannot. We never. Because, some of us believe that the world should think the way they think, or the world should configure the way they have configured themselves. The world cannot. We not and had never done that in the history of human existence. The world has never, condescended to the level of individual choice. You have, let that sink in you first. Let that sink in us. Because so many of us think, the world is that should think the way you think, should react the way you react, should see things the way you see things. No, absolutely no. Absolutely no. The world is already configured in the way it has maintained its status quo. So if you like, you configure towards that dimension, or if you like, you live in your illusion. The amazing thing about life is that how you want to think has no business to do with the trajectory at which the world moves. If today you say, oh, I don't want to use phone, for instance, there are, as a matter of fact, there are religious sects who say they don't want to be associated with anything called modern equipment. It did not stop the world from configuring or transiting into modern technologies. Did the world care about their religious philosophy? Absolutely no. Yeah, there are religious sects who believe that they cannot use phone. I have had encounter with some of them who say anything modern system is haram. It is their opinion. That is how they want to live their life. But does it stop the world from saying that global aviation system will not be internet-based? The answer is no. It's absolutely no. So it is to even socio-political issues. There are things you think you cannot, get in tune with. There are things you say, oh, I don't want to see sense in what people are saying. It does not also negate the fact that it is real and is also affecting what you believe in. That is the beauty of life. It is called evolution, social evolution. The world changes. There is always metamorphosis, social metamorphosis. It has no business to know who you are. Who you are is irrelevant and inconsequential within the circle at which we are discussing. So let us come back home to what we are. That is just foundation. Let us come back home to the discourse of the moment. It doesn't matter how the name, the fame any leader has acquired, immediately that leader begins to walk out of the philosophy that attracts men to him, he will definitely experience decline. He will start experiencing unpopularity. I always say it, I studied history at the university level. And I've studied, of course, history is not the study of animals and plants, no. If you talk about animal and plant, you can talk about biology and botany. History centers on human past activities. So historians are expected to investigate the behavior. It's not far from, psychology. They are all embedded. So historians discuss man past activities. Very, very important to understand that. And I am a historian by training, not by professing. I didn't profess. I was trained. I spent 4 years sitting down, understanding historiography. There was a day I talk about causation in history and the rest of them. These are extensive works, one got himself into. In course of history, I have studied about great men all over the world. I have studied different great men. Those who had a successful end and those who had a disastrous end. Yes, I have studied. Talking about European history, I have studied. Talking about America's history, I have studied. Talking about Afro history, I have studied. Talking about the Asians and what have you. In course of studying, it was man that was investigated. Not animals, not plants. Men were at the epicenter of what academic investigation called history is all about. And I have commonly realized that leaders have made certain blunders that cost them their status as a result of allowing corruption. Of course, when we talk about corruption, it's not only narrowing to bribe. There are other versions and forms of corruption. When we talk about corruption, it does not necessarily connote that of bribing. So leaders have, out of exposure to corruption, destroy themselves. Very, very important. The former leader of Ipob, should I say, the former director of Radio Biafran, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is also part of those humans that historians are studying. Social scientists are also studying. You might not even understand the importance of what I'm saying now. In the next 10 years, 20 years, just the way people will sit down and write about Ojukwu, people are already documenting it. Of course, it is not at the level of minions to understand, because they do not understand social documentation. They do not. They think everything is just making a whole lot of noise. But the truth remains, historians are studying. Those in legal fields are also studying and documenting. And that is the beauty of life. Now, in course of the week, I have spent a whole lot of time pondering on one single event. I mean, one single event in course of this week. Because I do a whole lot of, deep thinking, because it is when I'm engaged in deep thought that I can start raising some hypothetical questions. And those hypothetical questions beg for answers. So you look at you look at all diverse responses by your mind. And of course, you have a common, or should I call what we call consensus, or what we call unedited, in all various hypothetical questions you raise. And the question I ask myself in course of the week is this: how come about that the same Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who openly stated that any day we pour a blood of a Biafran, that day is the beginning of our war? Yes, it's on record. He preached it. He made us to understand that one of the worst things we could do as a people is to encourage the spitting of a Biafran blood by any of us in this struggle. He preached it. He emphatically made that submission. Now, how come about the same man sponsoring, supporting an act that also engage in the same spilling the blood of the Biafran people? That is the support of Simon Eber. That was what the hypothetical question that preoccupied my week, because I took a whole lot of time to understand the propeller, what actually could make a man who spoke against anything that will lead to the death of any of us in the struggle, and even Biafrans outside the struggle. How come about the same man secretly supporting a man that told that part he told us not to? And of course, I got my answer. I got my answer. And not just only supporting the guy, he did it in a very chameleonic nature, painting another image outside, but upholding another image inside. What I mean, in the outside, he was trying to send a signal that he's not in support of the activities of the guy. But within the members of his family, he had assured them that he was working in synergy with the young man. But to the public, to you and I, another picture was presented that he was not in support. And I am yet to understand why it is more important for him to make his stand known to his siblings. But to the outsiders, even the members of the leadership, he created another image, another posture that he was not in support, including some of his lawyers. Unfortunately, I am not, using the other of my phone where I can do projection. But in course of my, weak research to understand this very question, I stumbled into some, some document. This is a Vanguard. I wish this should be better. This is Vanguard. This is a Vanguard publication. This Vanguard publication was done on 14th December 2022 by Ejiofor, Barrister Ejiofor. The Vanguard said, look at the headline. He said, Kanu's lawyer sues Simon Ekpa for crime against humanity in Southeast. Vanguard 14th, 2024. Somebody who was defending Mazi Nnamdi was even not in the know of the level of support the client was giving to the man who was suing. Is really heartbreaking. As in, during the week while I was pondering on this, I couldn't fathom the right word to describe such character. Couldn't. It was so difficult for me to understand the right word to use in describing such character. That on 14th December 2022, his lawyer, people do say you can't lie to your doctor, you can't lie to your lawyer. But even on 14th December 2022, Mazi Nnamdi was not even telling the truth to the lawyer. The lawyer was acting in ignorance, just the way the members of the Directorate of State were also acting on ignorance. And no wonder Simon Ekpa will always tell them that what you do not know is bigger than you. He always said that. Because now, the question is, if a man could, as a matter of fact, if a man could not be open to his lawyer, could not be open to the members of the leadership, that is to tell you that you are doing another thing, he's doing another thing. You are just cajoling yourself, you are fooling yourself. Because two of you were not even in the same lane. You guys were fighting to keep the land safe. You guys were fighting to protect the motherland. You guys were doing fighting to expel criminality out of the cycle of the movement. Himself, he was doing another thing. Because this is a public media platform. I wish we can see. I can project. As when I'm using this phone, Facebook couldn't allow me on this phone. That would have been better. I would have just do direct projection. On 14th December 2022. 14th December 2022. He was even playing smart with his lawyer. He was not even open to the lawyer. He was handling him, his lawyer, as a fool. And in the same way, the same Vanguard, on another caption said, don't link Simon Ekpa to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB warns. This is the members of the leadership. We are also shouting. This guy has no business with our leader. As at then, all his criminal activities, our leader is not in the know. They were shouting another thing, fooling themselves, making mockery of themselves. Why the person they were trying to delink was into deep parley with the criminal, convicted terrorist. You should understand, the European system is not like African system. Before they convicted Simon Ekpa, they had a whole lot of evidences. That's why he could not even appeal it. That's why Simon could not even appeal it, because they showed him all the call log he had. Trust European investigatory system. All his email, the call log, everything he thought he did in the secret was presented to him. The lawyer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Barrister, was filing a case against Simon Ekpa to prove that this man has no business with the crime Simon Ekpa was committing. Yeah. But little did he know that he has already informed his siblings about his relationship with Simon Ekpa. He has even informed some set of lawyers that he was even in relationship, that he had understanding with what Simon was doing. Now, you not tell me, Chika Austine, you not tell me to have a trust to such a man. He's a dangerous person. I'm discussing a process. It also, you see, evil is evil. It doesn't matter the title of the man operating it. Evil is evil. If people could be defending you, distancing you from a crime they believe you are too matured to be involved with, then behind you're doing another thing, you lack the trust. You absolutely lack the trust. It is even dangerous for any reasonable person to associate with such individual. You know, most of you will foolishly come and say, you are attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm discussing a lifestyle that threatens our core project and core interest. It's not about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as an individual. Even Donald Trump can also be evaluated. He is the great, in fact, he is the most powerful man on earth. As far as you're still living on the planet Earth, the 7th continent of the world, Donald Trump is the most powerful man. And yet he's being subjected into evaluation. You are not telling me that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has that immunity, that whatever he does can be slided. You can tell that to a crab. You can't tell someone like me that. No, it is dangerous, strongly dangerous, that people could be defending what they don't know. And no wonder Simon will always mock us. He will mock us. So the DOS, what do they know? What do these people know? What you do not know is bigger than you. He will always state it unambiguous. And people were defending, including his lawyer. 14th December, Vanguard published that Barrister Joffo put up a litigation against Simon Ekpa. That is to tell you the level at which he even kept a Joffo. And of a Joffo will be shouting on top of his word that my client has no business with Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa was insulting a Joffo because a Joffo was daft. Yeah, he was naive. He knew nothing as regards to the level of support him, Simon, was getting from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What of the members of the league? He was just laughing at them. And he will use that popular, slogan. What you do not know is bigger than you. And he was right. And hypocritically, our people were killed. Businesses destroyed. The land was pillaged. There was rampage all over the world, all over the places, all over the Biafran land. Why the members of the leadership were struggling to stabilize the land? Because Ipob has done a lot, telling our people, bring back your businesses home, come back home, the home is peaceful. So what the leadership was fighting is to make sure that what they were campaigning is truth. You see it at home. The peace they are assuring our people at home is obtainable. Come and invest home. That was energy that the leadership built, invested on. They never knew what they were investing on. The supposed leader was destroying it in alliance with a criminal. And he comes, present himself, and some of you, we think this is a passive issue. It's never passive. It's never passive. It's never passive. And will never be. And do you know the funniest thing? When he was convicted, as a result of his level of collaboration with Simon Eba, yes, they didn't convict him that he killed anybody. They didn't convict him on any other thing. They convicted him on the ground, according to him, what he told the bishop that visited him in Sokoto, that they convicted him on the ground of the crimes committed by Simon Eba. And for those of you who do not know, and that's why most of you say, Anyandu is inside, why not wait? When he comes out, that is how stupid and daft you are. Associating him with Simon Eba, the state waited for him to come out. They didn't wait. Why? Because they knew the level at which he was in communication with him. And the state is very dangerous. That is how it happens all over the world. Sometimes countries allow you to have access to means of communication. They want you to feel you're okay. They want you to feel you're smart. They want you to feel you have undone the system. They want you to think you're hidden enough that nobody is seeing you. Then you're doing your thing. But you do not know that the gadget you even have is already heavily wiretapped. And it is the same thing they have extracted they will use to tell. They might not bring it in the open court because they don't want their citizens to feel that they are being eavesdropped. But they will give it to the judge handling the matter and say, Your Lordship, we cannot bring this in the open because it negates the principle of privacy. But Your Lordship, could you please have your time during the weekend, go through all these things. This is the level at which he communicated with the criminal. This is the level at which he supported, instructed them. This is the level at which he participated. And the judge will go through it. When you see the judge coming on court on Monday over the matter, he start looking aggressive. He will lose sympathy on you because what the state has provided to him were all shocking. That is what it is. Because Most of you think, I always say it, that the world revolves around the way you think. It does not. And listen, let me play some of the things, because most of you, I know Aloy made it clear earlier. In fact, Aloy was the first person that established strongly. Aloy established it on national TV. Aloy also established it by declassifying a private chat he was having with Simon Era. In fact, as a matter of fact, I don't understand how people rate wisdom. Yes, wisdom. I don't understand how people rate wisdom. Wisdom is not measured by what you say. Wisdom is measured by practical steps you take to achieve a desired positive target. That is wisdom. Yes, that is how wisdoms are measured. That is how wisdom are measured. If Mazi Nnamdi could cheaply fall into such trap, how do people describe wisdom? If he could cheaply slide into such trap, convince me that he was wise. Just convince me. I want to know. I want to know. Because you are rated to be wise by what you act, certain actions you take in the time of need. That is what makes you wise. Now, if someone we are claimed to be wise could easily be cajoled into this, convince me the yardstick at which you arrive in wisdom. Very, very important. I must tell you. It's not the words you speak. You are not measured. Wisdom is not measured by vituperations. It's not measured by eloquence. It's measured by practical steps. Understand that. And look at, you see the danger of the whole thing is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has so much evolved with the mindset of why my family members will know the truth, the millions of Biafrans who believed in him should be kept blank. When we all were burning our datas, burning our time, shouting that he has no business with the criminal activities going on in the land, he was informing the family members about his collaboration. He was keeping them in the know. He was keeping them in the know. How did I know? I knew when I visited his hometown and his elder sister was organizing prayers for Simon Ekpa and courses. Elders were invited to curse the members of the DOS. 2023, in Afaruku Ibeku, in his own compound. I was there. I was invited as a media person. And I was shocked that I was outside there defending, stating it boldly, that this man had no business with what Simon Ekpa was doing. The killing of our people, the destruction of their properties, the kidnapping, that he has no business with what Simon Ekpa was doing. Then I was made to look so stupid, only to know that prayers were organized in his family by the sister. I've said this some time ago. Praying for Simon Ekpa and mandating the so-called elders to place curse on the member of the DOS. That was the day I knew that we are far from the reality of the time. And look at the in-laws stating something funny here. Listen. Now look at this is the in-law that married their second daughter. This man is saying this in public space. This is the in-law who married Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's their second daughter. This is one of those also whose name appeared in the sharing of Ipob Germany form. Now look at what this guy is saying. That the picture he painted, listen, that there are two sons of a man, that one son said he's not going to do anything yet. Let him watch what those holding his father will do. He was making reference of the members of the DOS, that they said they are not going to do anything. They are watching to see what the state will do against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, that there is another son of the same man, this Simon Ekpa, who said he cannot wait to see what they can do. The best thing he will do is that he will start burning places. That is the picture the man created. And he said, when he was closing this statement, that Simon Ekpa was sent by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to do whatever he was doing. Let's listen. That's Simon Ekpa.
Before I knew the boy in longer, I'm in a Wupu, Utunishi. See, who are you? Name of an I cracker. Funny one. Yamianama. Tell in the mother Chichi Lake, I live fool. Now, where I go on no fool, I can take it on yaro. Oh, none, no, aka, naya. Now, why I cause on can take it. You share it home, long ago, I got a little banana. Oh, no, the Baraku, you yeah, what I could go. Would you look? Simon Ekpa did things. Simon Ekpa watakre naya dinosh.
Okay.
And don't joke because Simon Ekpa is a disciple of Supreme Commander Nnamdi Kanu. Simon Ekpa is the son of Nnamdi Kanu. Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu is delighted in Simon Njoko Ekpa.
Now, you heard him. This from an insider. Now, let us now look at the statement. He said, Simon Ekpa, Nnamdi Kanu was delighted with what Simon Ekpa did. He was delighted. Now, how do you correlate with this statement with the action of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's siblings when Simon Ekpa ran into problem. How do you correlate it? You see, he says Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was delighted. That means, in fact, the lawyer had already said it. And I told you, I went to Afaro Kuibeku. I saw them praying for Simon Ekpa and placing curses on the member of the DOS. You know, trying to maybe they're expecting one entity to start killing them, inflicting them with sicknesses and diseases. But they were praying for Simon Ekpa. That means the family was in the know of and in support of what Simon Ekpa. But do you know what I do not understand? I'm not a fan of Simon Ekpa. I detest his criminal approach to self-determination. How come about that when Simon Ekpa ran into problem, the same people made 60-degree U-turn, started distancing themselves from Simon Ekpa, started insulting the young man whom they used, whom they cajoled, and immediately the guy ran into problem. They made a U-turn. That is the behavior I have never really understand. You supported somebody, you applauded him, you call him the one who na kumbamba, no ya wana kumbamba. That is the one doing something for you to come out by setting the land on fire. Now, the law caught him. All of you now turn 60-degree. Started going to Sahara Reporter where you pay token for your publications to be carried, and started painting Simon Ekpa as an evil fellow. That is not a leader quality. That is not a quality of a leader. That is not a quality of a leader. A bishop visited you in Sokoto. You told that bishop that you have nothing to do with Simon Ekpa. In fact, that Simon Ekpa is the cause at which you find yourself in Sokoto. When Simon Ekpa ran into problem, the same you who was pleased with him, who supported him, who told Aloy to back him, the same you started bragging that Simon Ekpa is in prison because you cost him. That Eborion, that's why he started having problems. Goodness me. Now you now see what they did in Simon Ekpa was exactly what they wanted to use the members of the Directorate of State to achieve. And these guys told them no. Because whenever you ask them, what is the problem? Why did you not like members of they will tell you that they don't have courage. They don't have the boldness. That's only what they will tell you. They will tell you they are spineless. They don't have the balls. That they are cowards. This their language is not mine. Go to public spaces. That is how they will tell you that they are not happy with the members of because they are not violent. That they are cowards. How do you defend? How do you understand bravery? They understand bravery when you make yourself available to be used. You run into problem, they rush to the media and deny you. Yes, they deny you. Just the way they did it to Simon Ekpa. They denied the guy, abandoned the guy. And when they saw that the guy has started entering into a mess, into problem, and that the leadership was seriously making sure that Simon pays for those his boys killed in our land. When Mazi Nnamdi noticed that the leadership was not interested to listen, remember he wrote memo. It is in the open. He wrote memo telling the members of the leadership not to respond to Simon ever, not to talk about Simon ever. When he noticed that the members of the leadership were not interested with those orders to keep quiet and watch this guy turn our land into uninhabitable place. As at that time, most businesses were living even on nature, going to Asaba. Businesses were relocating on nature to Asaba. Aba people were living, investors were living Aba, heading to Port Harcourt and Akwa Ibom. And the leadership said, no, this is not going to be good for us. We are watching economic extinction. And the order was coming. You should not attack Simon ever. You should not discuss. This guy said no. They called it bluff. Stood their ground. Make sure they called Simon ever into accountability. When they now see, that the leadership is now, they are out to hold this war and make our land to be safe, they made a U-turn and started abusing Simon Eber. The same family that used and prayed for this guy, they made a U-turn and started distancing. These are the same people who were praying for this guy. You see, sometimes people think they are smart. You are not smart. You are not. You are not smart. Because there is something called karma. I don't like Simon Eber. But Simon Eber was a victim of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's manipulation. He was a victim. He was a victim. Because what he wanted the leadership to do for him, which this guy said, no, we can't do it. We can't set the land ablaze. We can't set the land ablaze. Then he got this guy and dragged him into problem. The distance. Now, the same boy, the family gave press statement condemning. I can get you series of press statements they got. Against Simon Eber. Immediately the guy started running into problem. They switched and started gambling. Let me give you, because we talk with facts. When the guy they were praying for, I was in Omaya where they were praying for him. I was there. I'm not telling you, somebody told me. Was in Afaruku. Immediately the guy ran into problem. What did you see? They switched. They abandoned him. To an extent, Ejimako, I can credit some level of integrity for him. Because Ejimako never opened his mouth to condemn him, even till tomorrow. Because he knew that these guys, Barrister Ejimako knew the level Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was in with Eba. That's why till tomorrow, despite the condemnation, Ejimako refused to do that part. This is when these guys started running into problem, and they saw that the leadership have been doing all they can do to stop him. Look at, they made a U-turn. These are people who were praying for this guy. This is go to, if you can check it, Premium Times, July 31st, 2023. When it was obvious that the leadership was committed to make Simon Ekpa pay. Look at the publication. It says, Nnamdi Kanu accuses Nigerian government of sponsoring Simon Ekpa. Nnamdi Kanu accuses Nigerian government of sponsoring Simon Ekpa. When it was done that this guy is on the way on his express road for self-destruction, the switch, is that what you call integrity? Is that what you call integrity? Is that what you call integrity? When you cannot stand with somebody you used to the end, is that what you call integrity? If he could easily do this to Ekpa, despite Ekpa's popularity, then tell me who else he could not use and dump. If he could do this to Simon Ekpa, I'm giving you, go to Premium Times. Go to Premium Times of July 31st, 2023. See how the same people who were organizing prayers in their house, whose in-law said he sent the boy. Look at how they dumped the guy on the way. Immediately the guy started running into problem. They abandoned him. And this is what you want to convince me is leadership quality? You're a joker. Seriously. This is something people do not know. This is something people don't know. Because your people think you are smart, but you are not. You are not. You are not smart. If you're smart, you must keep your record straight. If you're smart, and you know the terrible situation today, immediately the leadership get fed up with these destructive behaviors and abolished the office of director of Radio Biafra. Do you know what? They noticed that Biafrans are seeing them for whom they are. They started the process of looking for Simon Ekpa remnants. Yes. They noticed that members of IPOBs are wary. They are beginning to ask questions. They are skeptical. They are concerned with these rotten behaviors. What did you see? They started switching into looking for members of Simon Ekpa. And of course, those guys do not have confidence in them. The key ones among them are very careful because they knew what they did to Simon. They knew what they did to Simon. Forget the lowest of them who do not know much. But they are top fellows. Doctor Paulo, they are very careful, extremely careful on dealing with them. Because they knew what they are now rushing kitty, looking for whom to align with. And that's what we are saying. No, this is not self-determination. This is, except you guys are fighting something you've not told us, this is not. And that is not what it is. Now, some of their minions, you will hear stories like, oh, we are one, oh, everybody not autopilot. Some will tell you if we are caught, if they say we are working with autopilot, let it be. Because they don't know. They are finding it difficult to get people to work with them. And that is one thing with life. Immediately you lose trust. You can only attract criminals. You can only attract people who do not value their names. You can only attract people who do not know the importance of integrity. And that's exactly what is going on. Our members of the Directorate of State, are they struggling? They will just give instruction. Look at what happened in UK yesterday. People went, go all over the world. You see national coordinators identifying with them. The highest selling point any leader have is integrity. Is integrity. And do not be deceived to think that everybody will always be lining with you. And even when you don't care. Okay, look at something happened recently. I will soon open the line for people to call. Something happened recently. There was a huge exposure of the fraud that happened in Germany. That's to tell you how these guys think they are smart. Huge fraud was recorded that happened in Ipob fund in Germany. What do you see them did? They first of all try on how to diffuse that. They first of all say, oh, let us Kanu come and explain. They explain. People did not, the explanation did not trend because, their minions do not have what it takes to push media. That one did not work. The next thing they did, hey, come, let us go to Israel and snap picture. Probably that will help people to talk about that and forget the fund thing. That is trying to create a diversion. And what did they do? Out of haste, because they wanted the people's attention to go out from the fraud that happened in Germany and other places, in Italy and other. They wanted the people to stop talking about that. They hastily run to Israel. And as a matter of fact, I don't know why people should even be crazy. Israel, just like UAE or Ethiopia, these are tourists. These are countries that tourists enhance their GDP. Our people hate data. Our people hate data. If you go and study Israeli GDP or Israeli revenue, national revenue, I'm talking about national income, tourists contribute over 6%. I'm telling you, tourists contribute over 6% of Israeli GDP. So, Israel will be happy to even have you coming because they know that you coming, you are enhancing their economy. But then when they are, in fact, I don't know if I can teach a basic diplomacy so that people should, get rid of all these stupid displays. Any diplomacy that is not conducted in secrecy is not diplomacy. I look at some people who make mockery of themselves. They say underground. What do you even know? Some of them are daft. They don't even know anything. These are people who do not even understand geopolitics. Tell me any country that have visited on a sensitive matter and done that in open. If you point to one country that have, in course of visiting, to solidify a sectorial relationship If you show me a country in course of visiting to solidify a sectorial relationship that did that in the open, if you show it to me, I have 50,000 for you. Show me. When countries are breaking out relationship, it's purely secrecy. Let me give you an instance with a modern or contemporary issue. The war between Iran and US. Iran is retaliating against US, attacking US bases in the Gulf states, Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Bahrain, and all the rest of them. Do you know what? Some of these countries are disturbed. A country like UAE that depends heavily on tourism. Do you know what? When Iran retaliates on their, targeting US presence on UAE soil, UAE secretly send their delegates to tell Iran, please, this thing you're doing, can't you wait? Let us tell America to stop so that you will stop. We want peace. Please, can you send your delegates in Pakistan? Let us start discussing. These things happen in secrecy. You don't hear it in news. Why I'm explaining this because of how daft some of us are. When you hear, for instance, if Nigeria wants to have a direct flight to Brazil, which is called BASA, Bilateral Airspace Agreement. If Nigeria wants to have a direct flight, non-stop to Brazil, on the process of discussing this, you don't hear. You will hear some delegate from Nigerian Ministry of Aviation traveling to Brazil, quietly, discussing with Brazil, please, Brazil, we want to have access to your airspace, civilian access, not military access. We want to have a civilian access to your airspace. Please, would you mind our flight will be coming in direct without transiting through, Brazil might tell them, listen, okay, we also want that. You also open your own. They say yes. They say okay. Brazil will say okay. You cannot land in our capital because the airport today will have a whole lot of flights coming in. We don't have a slot. We don't have a hangar space for you. Can you use this region airport? Nigeria will say, okay. Do you know what? If your flights are coming, okay, let them be using Abuja, not Lagos. Lagos is over Jampa. That is the time they are discussing. You don't know about it. Nobody says it on camera. Nobody absolutely make it a public discussion. These delegates will come back, brief the host country and say, this is what they said. They will tell the Minister of Aviation, Festus Kayemo, for instance, they will say, oh, we went to, this is what they said. The Minister of Aviation will transmit onward, probably to the president. The president will look at it and say, okay, what is your advice, Minister? He will say, okay, well, let us tell them to give us, instead of once a week, let them give us 3 slots. Because we have a lot of people from Nigeria traveling to that place. These people will return back. The delegates will return back to Brazil. Calmly, quietly, nobody will know this. They will go there to negotiate number of flights coming. When they finish discussing, they will return back and say, oh, they said 3 is much, that they are going to give us 2. These people will agree. That's okay. This is the level of negotiating. Nobody knows about what has been going on. Then they now communicate and discover they have reached all level agreement. They will now tell the Minister of Aviation and say, you have to now fly in. Minister for Foreign Affairs, because this is a bilateral agreement, will now fly in. Then you will now see, that is when you will now see camera. That is when you now see camera. You see Bianco Juku, you see Festus Kayemo, you see Brazilian counterpart. They will all be signing documents. The cameras will be there. It is, that level is the ceremonial level. Deal has been reached. Agreement has been sealed. That is diplomacy for you. Not somebody went and went to a member of Israeli Knesset and started saying, oh, we thank you people. Israel is making the whole world to sleep. Gosh! That is what Kanu was saying. Israel is making everybody. What Kanu did was to visit the man. It's called tourists. They just went there as a tourist. But because they believe we are all stupid, they believe that every one of us are daft. That is how the angle at which they see us. And guess what? Do you know what? People are even happy that somebody went for a tourism trip and said, okay, please, so let me see one of the members of the Knesset, which is called Parliament in the Western countries. And it is normal. Parliamentarians are meant to be seen because they believe that you're coming to see them, probably to lobby them. That is one of the ways parliamentarians make money. So it's easy for you to tell any parliamentarian, either in Capitol, I'm talking about the Hill, U.S. Congress Center. If you tell any parliamentarian that you want to have a team of people from Imeri in Ngogwala who want to see you, he will be happy. Do you know why? He's believing that when you come, you have to pay him for him to draft a bill and submit in the parliament. It is called lobbying. A parliamentarian wants you to see him, probably to lobby him. Because it is the lobby you give him that he makes the money to pay his staff. I am basic diplomacy. It's a basic diplomacy. Elementary form of it. Elementary form of it. So, Kanu had to do that trip because already his name, Biafrans have been asking, respond to this. So he has to be the one to lead. So that people will not discuss him for another thing other than what was on ground. And people who do not understand how these things function will open their mouth and say, oh, why is the DOS doing underground? And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, because it's very important. Do you know the funniest thing is that you do not open a comprehensive relation with countries or group. This thing I'm going to tell you now will definitely is for your own information, it's for your own education. Because I always say that Biafra is a geopolitics. You know, people who always mock us for exposing our attention on geopolitics are the same one who want to defraud you on geopolitical outing. They want to create that impression. These are people who tell you that every time you're talking geopolitics, they are still the same people who wear suit on tourist ground. They want to defraud you, believing that they are on geopolitical trip. Now, let me tell you, no country wants to discuss with you on comprehensive matters. Listen and listen very carefully. I'm telling you. Let me just give you a simplified knowledge. It's free. No country, take a Bible. Very soon I will open my line, and I believe very soon I will open my line. Have the courage to ask. Please, I'm not picking call yet. I will round up before picking up the call, so that I don't forget what I want to say. What I want to say is the final thing. Take your pen, write it down. By the time I ask people to call in, ask me questions. Counter my narrative, if possible. Is this idea of people hiding under pillow? You know, you want to insult people, you want to attack people, you want to write rubbish. use the WhatsApp, call, ask questions, counter me. Let me understand that I'm talking rubbish. I ask you a question, you ask me a question. These are how knowledge propelled individuals respond to issues. As a matter of fact, no country discusses a comprehensive issue with you. These are things you don't know. And no country has all-round relationship with another country. Quote me anywhere. Even the best, the most friendly countries do not have all-round relationship. It's an elementary diplomacy we are teaching. It's elementary political, international politics we are talking. I will give you an instance. If Nigeria, for instance, is in relationship with Turkey, Nigeria might start with Turkey on education. It is called sectorial relationship. Nigeria cannot start with Turkey on defense, education, tourism, agriculture, economy, IT. No country allows that. You must have an interest sector you want to start. You must have an interest sector. You must have the interest sector. For instance, if the Biafrans want to develop a relationship, the country you're meeting with, okay, can we start from educational exchange? Educational exchange means they will not give some of the Biafrans access to their scholarship, areas of study. As you people are perfecting that side, you might now move on trade and investment. They will ask, okay, hence a lot of Biafrans are buying our products. We are going to make sure that every item bought by a Biafran should have, you are going to negotiate it out as a matter of fact, should have 10% tariff waiver, so to say, unlike others. That is another area of relationship you are activating. That is another angle of relation. You have perfected education. You have not transited to trade. Maybe after trade, you have perfected trade. You might not say, okay, please, can we have your support base in UN? Please, we need a relationship in terms of your voting system in UN. Please, can you be raising our discussion in UN and also be giving us your vote? It's another angle of relationship you're activating. You don't come standing on the dam be telling somebody, I'm this, so I thank you people. You people are making the whole world to be sleeping. You're stupid. Nobody takes you serious. The only people who can take you serious are those people who are at low level thinking like you. They did not even say, okay, we go there to say to them, we went there to negotiate on immigration matter. That could have been a smart way. They would have made themselves serious. Oh, we went there to negotiate on immigration matter on our people who are finding it difficult to get documents. They did not. They went there to take pictures because they want you to stop talking about the fraud in German's account. Probably, Chineke, man, I have started feeling headache because when some of the level of daftness and a smart approach to even criminal behaviors make me wonder how intelligent are these people? How intelligent are these people? As a matter of fact, for those of you who have a contrary opinion, the line is now open. Kindly call in. You will have the mic to counter me, so be bold to slide into call space. Raise questions to me. I will also ask you. That is the beauty of life. We are not here to, because some of you think everything is just attack. And why is it? No. We are talking about issue-based stuff. And for those of you who will be you are going to be making your contributions as brief as possible so that others will have time to talk. Okay, Mazi, are you here? Mazi Patrick, are you here?
Yeah, Chika, Austine. Good afternoon from my end.
Thanks so much.
I just came across your program. I know say they do program every Sunday, but
now when will they get time
I
now?
came across this one. Yeah, I said let me. By next week Saturday, we are scheduling a program that you'll be part of. Well, we haven't chosen the time, so I'm just using this opportunity to between me and you and KK. So it's going to be on BTV where we are going to give our people. In fact, we're not talking anything. We are going to give our people. The program is going to be a question and answer program.
Is all right. Okay, go ahead for your contribution. Okay, I said that is fine. Go ahead for your contribution so that others will also call in. We are not on the contribution.
Okay, no, so what happened is that what you see this Israel journey and all that, it had been the format over the years. It's just that our eyes were not open. You understand what I'm saying? It's just that our eyes, because we in the Western world, we've gone to so many offices in different countries to submit our petition. We have marched. We have done every sensitization that is needed, to alert the world. So there's nobody that will tell us that they don't know about the cause of Biafran people. You understand?
Yes.
But now trying to use suit and tie. Our people love this when they, oh God. Our people love it when they see you, this Biafran thing with white people snapping pictures. This was what Ebirima was doing. So even at some point, Ebirima even have to organize a Biafra football team, giving white children jersey to wear to come and play ball with because they understand the psychology. It's okay, just look at diplomatic move that Kanu is leading. The diplomatic team that Kanu is the leader. Mazi. So all these things are whitewash. But when we say they will say, get envious, you see, but there is no genuity in that journey. It was all, like you said, to divert attention. And also to use it to build an alibi, because there is a court case going on in Germany now. So they are looking at opportunity. You see how he was calling his name, introducing himself, so that when he will present that video for court as part of the diploma, they will not say they talk. He made a full introduction of himself, because they are going to need that video clip to present in court to judge that these are where the money of IPOB have been going.
It's all right. So okay, you can run down, Mazi.
He made sure that he introduced himself with his name as stated in the document and all, so that they won't mistake you for somebody else when he will present the video in court that all the embezzled money that he used it for diplomatic mission. But Thank you, Mazi. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll keep on pushing. Okay, Mazi, you're welcome. Hello? Hello? Are you there? Caller, you're listening to your gadget. Can you listen to your phone call so that... There.
Okay. Okay.
You're highly welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Mazi.
Please, there's a question I want to ask.
Go ahead.
My question is, I just have 2 or 3 questions to ask you.
Go ahead.
I hope you will not be offended because I listened to your program and then you say that anyone can ask any question.
If I'm not obliged and disposed to respond to questions, why will I ask you to? Because I wouldn't want everybody calling here to praise it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
So go ahead because of our time.
Yeah. My question is that I want to ask this question. Is it, do you see it as, excuse me, please, I'm just on this. My question is, do you see Mazi, do you see Nnamdi as like he choose making money from his own people or from making money from Nigerian government?
I don't understand. Choose making money, how?
Yes, like, do you see Nnamdi Kanu, from the way you see him, the way you know him, or the way you find out things about him, the way you find out things about him, do you see him like he like making money from his own people or from Nigerian government?
Okay, good. Is that the only question, or you have second one, or do you want me to respond?
Yeah, the second one.
Go ahead.
Second one.
Go ahead.
And the second one is, I just want to ask, have you visited him have you visited him in here and asked him some questions?
It's all right. Good question. So stay tuned. Don't hang the phone.
No.
Good. Now, when one is talking about issues like this, you must concentrate on facts and not fictions. In fact, as a matter of fact, I don't believe in fictions. Saying, did I see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as making money from his own people or the zoo? There is absolutely no evidence that zoo has given him money. At official capacity, there is nothing like that. Now, on the issue of the fund of the people and misappropriation, I might not, if you asked me this question a month ago, I also said I don't have evidence on that. But since the German people released the document at their disposal, there is advanced fraud on mismanaging of the people's money.
Yeah.
Based on provided evidence. So, on the side of the government, there is absolutely no evidence at my disposal on that. And I cannot...
So does it mean that, does it mean that you trusted that evidence, that evidence the German government provided for you? Or
Whether what?
That document that showed that there's misplacement of funds, does it mean that you trusted that document?
You don't. Let me ask you a question. If you have a problem in your account, you run a bank, am I correct?
Of course.
If you have a problem in your balance sheet, what do? You fall back to your bank to give you your statement of account, am I correct?
Of course, yes.
Do you trust that document?
If this question is directly to you, because if I with my account, I will go direct to, because it's my account. I will go direct. Go direct to the bank because it is my account. The reason is my account, then I will then know whether the
bank what you extracting as your bank statement. Do you trust it?
That's what I'm saying. If it is personal, if it's me, you are asking me this question directly. If it's me,
you will trust it.
Yes, if it's me, yes, because it is my own. It's mine.
So the account, the account that was highlighted for you is IPOB personal account, and those who have access to that statement were those who were signatory, whom the bank provided opportunity to also have access to it, just the way you have access to your private account.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? So if you can trust the statement, the analysis of your personal account, then why do you not think that what was also, because it's the same bank we're talking about, there is no different thing. It's still the same bank that furnish these people and say, this is how your money have been going. So why shouldn't they trust it?
You are talking about trust. My question is that for me, why I ask you this question, for me, I like having the evidence within me personally.
No, then I'll
be showing you
what they highlighted to you.
You trusted this bank. You trusted these people that gave you this
statement.
Evidence that this is the you trusted them, but I don't know how far you have gone. But I know I've listened to some of your programs. I know that you do come.
You are not getting let's get something clear. I don't want you to conclude without us establish this fact. What they highlighted, where did they get it from? The bank.
That's why I'm telling. That's why I'm telling you. Maybe.
No, there's no maybe now. There's no maybe. Hold on.
Let's say I just want you to do it by yourself, not them. No, I just want you to go and verify that statement, that statement of account by yourself.
Are you watching? Are you watching me on camera now?
No, I off it now. I'm talking to you. So there's no need of watching.
Okay, I will show you something. You see, the age at which we are, you don't need to bother yourself. If somebody gives you a document, you can easily mail the entity in question and get their response, authenticating whether it is true or false. We are not in
someone's account, bro.
If somebody, for instance, okay, let me give you a basic knowledge. You might, I wish you should appreciate this. When that document was open, at the level of Google, if you open Google now, if you open Google, I'm talking about the app, Google app.
Yes.
You have at the place where you need to type whatever you ask.
Of course.
You have 4 icons.
Yeah.
One icon is search icon. Are you with me?
I'm listening to. Yeah, no, I'm not typing it now. I will do it later.
You can do it later. I'm just giving listen. It's a basic knowledge. You have 4 icons. You have search icon.
Basic knowledge you are talking about. So I'm listening to you. Good. I said I will do it later.
Okay. You have a first icon, search icon. You have second icon, which has to do with AI search. Then you have third one that has to do with voice. You can voice and get what you want. Then you have the last one that gives you a camera icon.
Of course.
Have you used that icon before?
I have. I'm recording. Even if I have not used this
particular method. You have not.
I will do it.
No, you have not. We are learning every day. Now, when you get a document, when somebody gives you a document, when you type on that icon, this is a basic, it's just, I'm telling you, elementary investigational level. When you type on that icon, you can uplift whatever you want to uplift from your file.
Okay.
And get it on that Google platform and ask, what is this? It's just as simple as that. What Google will do at that level of elementary investigation, I'm not telling you advanced one, is to tell you the source of the document, tell you if the document is legit. And as a matter of fact, I have subjected this document even on this level. There was this one they edited and published where they put my name, Chika, Austine. I've made a program on that. I don't know whether you follow that program. I also subjected it. The same Google told me it was fake. There was this one that was published earlier, where Kanu name was, where he was, I have also subjected it and Google certified it. That's the level of basic investigation. I don't want to start talking about advanced level. So, on that, I have taken my time to authenticate. As a matter of fact, I understand that as I'm on this program currently, if I speak unverifiable thing, the person I'm speaking against has the right to put up litigation against me. I'm not a careless speaker. I don't just speak because I want to speak. When I speak, I understand the legal grounds. You get what I'm saying? So that that document is 100% certified. You can take that to the bank. As a matter of fact, if another thing, now I'm not teaching you a mere psychological.
Now that means I'm okay with this your teaching. So now, because according to this your teaching, now it shows that Nnamdi Kanu love making money from his people now.
Is your submission?
Because according to this your teaching, this teaching means it means this man love making money from his own people than from the federal government.
And I'm telling you, do you know what analysis does? When people analyze, people interpret on their own context. I'm analyzing reality for you. So, however you want to, our languages might differ. However you want to arrive on it, is your absolute respect. And I believe we have dealt with that. Am I correct? Now, let us go. Let us go on the other one you asked, where you're asking me, have I visited Sokoto?
Yes,
Good.
Have you visited?
Good.
Have you take your time just to visit him?
I must not take my time. The question is that have I visited Sokoto? So we have dealt with the first one. It doesn't whether I take my time or my leg. Now, the question I should ask you. You know me. You have been following me. Am I correct?
I do follow you.
Now, do you sincerely respond to this question? Do you think since
you have not answered my question? You are throwing questions to me.
No. I think I have. I have not now. Okay. I have not visited Sokoto.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Now ask me the question you want me to answer.
Are you satisfied? Because I just want to explain something.
Satisfied. I like my question and I like your answer.
Good.
Yeah.
Now,
I really like your answer.
Now the question you're asking, have I visited Sokoto? I say no. Now you know me. As a media fellow. And the question I should ask you, do you think I owe myself of my safety, having known all the necessary conditions around me? Or do you think I should be regulated by your own opinion where I should be and where I should not be?
This question really, I really understand this your question, and really first thing first in safety, because you are a media person, yes, of course I acknowledge that. But the reason why I ask this question is for you to meet this person.
No, hold on.
Yes,
If you have, let me tell you, in logic, there is what we call, I think, subject and I will remember the coronation. Now, safety, my safety overrides whatever you think. If factors around me or indices around me proves that if I go to this place, there is high tendency of me jeopardizing my safety. Any other thing you're talking is just sentiment. It's going to be built on sentiment. And as a matter of fact, I don't subscribe to sentiment. It doesn't matter who is preaching it. So, you are calling from Europe, for instance. Am I correct? If in your street now, the police have announced that they are chasing a terrorist, I'm giving you instance, and you are hungry, you need to go and get food. Which of them will you prioritize?
Can you ask this question again? Sorry, please. Can you ask?
If there is a police alarm, we are wasting time. We are going to get all that. People have been calling. In the street where you're living, if there is a police alarm, that everybody should be careful, that there is an armed terrorist they are hunting after. That you should stay wherever you are within a time, or just even though they say even though they didn't say you should stay where you are, but there is this alarm that there is a terrorist loaded with magazine they are chasing, and in the same time you are hungry, you need to go and get food outside. Which of them will you prioritize?
But remember the question. Your question is that there is a terrorist they are hunting for. So if I am,
which is issue of insecurity, which is issue of insecurity, basically.
Well, for safety's sake, I will avoid the place.
Thanks so much.
For safety's sake, I will. For safety's sake, I will avoid it.
Thanks so much
for safety's sake, I will avoid it.
Yes, thanks so much for that sincere response. We'll get other people, so I will urge you to go and pound over that.
Okay.
Probably. Thanks so much. Okay, Mazi, you're calling back, and I think you should be brief so that we get others. A lot of people have been calling.
Yes, Mazi Austine, you gave this guy a long time. I just want 2 minutes. One thing you know is that as people, there are people who have already made up their mind to live with lies, even when you present all the evidence in the world to them. Now, I want to clarify something. People have been calling for evidence. The German account is a global IPOB account. That the account that the Germans read on BTV Live was IPOB global account. So it's not just an account for only Germany. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, because the IPOB global account is domiciled in Germany under the custody of Nnamdi.
Okay.
For the fact that Nnamdi is the global finance principal, she takes care. So it is incumbent that account resides in Germany where she's resident. Now, all the whole detail of this account were printed out, and the case is in court. And these same details now are also with Nnamdi and Kanu, that they have the details of this account, including IPOB, who are in litigation with them, including the German court. Because there's no way you can be talking about a bank account.
So if the account is with the German court, is a public document.
Yes, so automatically there is no question of the authentication, because you cannot present a fake evidence before a court.
It's all right.
In fact, it was even the bank that sent this document to the court directly, because the bank is also in the middle of the entire.
Of course, to respond to court, whatever court expected from them.
So what is so there are people who have already made up their mind because they want to defend their savior.
It's all right, Mazi.
Now there is something I want to say very fast. He said, do you believe that Mazi Nnamdi would prefer to take money from the people or from the federal government? And I want to say that Mazi Nnamdi is just an opportunist who sees an opportunity or fund of his people and took advantage of it. The same thing he also did when Atiku opportunity presented itself for boycott of election. He saw $1 million and jumped on that opportunity. The same opportunity also happened during NSAS, where he abandoned the Biafran struggle and jumped into NSAS. So this is an opportunist who is looking for whatever is available to consume. So even if the federal government of Nigeria present him with money tomorrow, he will still take it.
That is
the truth. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. We're also trying to get a lot of callers in. Mazi Keka, I will get back to you. I will get back to you, Mazi Kekoda. Let us also get this caller. He has been trying a lot to get across. Okay, Mazi, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, Mazi. Thank you so much for the program.
Thank you
so much for the program. Yes, Mazi, what I have realized in this whole thing that is happening, from my own analysis, Mazi, Nnamdi Kanu and his siblings, there's nothing like fighting for Biafra. They came from the first place. There's nothing like that. Because if you look the whole thing, it's all about fraud. German people are still talking of their own. One day I think your people will invite us in BTV also from South Africa. Let us also come and analyze the First National Bank account. You will uncover massive fraud. These people didn't come for anything Biafra. It's just that they took advantage of our heart desire, and they made a very good advantage of it for their personal and selfish interests. These people, like the glass collar that called before Mazi called again. That is how they behave. They will see truth, but they will just, want to make it to look like lies, that even you, who is supposed to be the, persecutor, will turn to a defendant. That is their way. We know them very, very well. It's their strategy. It has happened to me. I remember the time they came with there's no kind of lies they didn't, put on my head. When I turned around and told them that, okay, show your evidence, they couldn't provide any. When I told them, okay, that was myself, my deputy, and our national secretary then. We told them that we are going to invite Iba Marashi. We don't even mind putting her bill to come since she's the auditor of the one responsible for every account in Africa.
Yes.
That they will come and audit this account. They become scared because the fraud is overwhelming. That is why even when they are calling all these people, I learned that there was a time as Nnamdi Kanu was calling some of the coordinators. They called all the SADC coordinators. Though they called those people, they know what they came for us anyway. They lost all of them. They didn't even involve me in the call because they know my stand from day one. You understand? They know that I have uncovered their fraud. So, and their strategy, as I always say, they will first be accusing you, so that the time you will use to explain, you will be using it to defend yourself. Just like this thing this guy went to, Israel to do. It's a very big desperation. It's a very big desperation. It's like when you have a breakdown on the way. You just have to look for anyhow mechanic to see if the mechanic can be able to fix your car to manage it home. That is exactly what they did. Just imagine. And these people, they know they didn't come for any Biafra. They want to make Biafra restoration project to look like a mockery before the world. That in people that will have the opportunity or have the feeling of listening to us, they will take us as people who are not serious. That is exactly what they want to do. So, and again, Mazi, there's something I want us to do, because it's what I always tell people, no matter how you are being provoked, even no matter how somebody is lying against you, never reply or respond their lies with lie. Maybe if you see any of their issues, you say, okay, let me put salt, let me put water, let me put sugar, let it get sweet. Say it the way it is. Because anytime you start responding them with the same lies or trying to lie against them, in spiritual, realm, you are
vulnerable.
on the same yoke with them.
Yeah.
Even if you're in the same yoke with them. So always confront them with truth. No matter the provocation, no matter the concoction of lie, because it's already their way. Don't try to lie against them too, so that you will not lose the spiritual battle. All of these people supporting them, they all know that they are lying. They all know that what they are doing is wrong. But they just want to remain relevant, and they make money as much as they can out of it. After all, they know that the master chief con man is a con artist, so they have to extort anyone they have to. For them, it's business. So, Mazi, keep on, you guys that are in the front line of media, keep on pushing. It may be difficult for people to believe, but in due time, they will believe, because truth remains constant. It will never change, no matter the situation. We must continue. No going back. And I want to say again, we overrated the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You know why? I say that because somebody who cannot manage a nuclear family, just a very small, tiny family, how do you think the person has the quality to manage over 70 people? That's impossible. Because this thing called marriage, this thing called family, is not easy. It's all about, sometimes you even have to compromise your own happiness or something like that, compromise your own comfort just to make sure that the family is going forward. A man who cannot handle his son and his wife can definitely also go to buy an adipia. Only when he can handle public, only when he can handle a movement of this magnitude. If I am with him now, department in case sending Nnamdi Kanu, I kwesịrị ka ha send ya na agọtahụ n'oge. Onye a kwesịrị ibe a mobilizer. He has the gift to go onye we see, we give it to him. Only the spirit of mobilizing, he can speak and ginger people. But when it comes to a serious issue, it should not even near there. He shouldn't near there at all. Because if he's somebody who has a relative charisma, he has every opportunity even to be on a good round table without being rude, and talk senses into our politicians. Persistence, I know they may not like what we are doing, because it's like we are going to remove food from their table. But it is somebody who has that leadership charisma and have self-respect for himself. There's a way he will comfort himself and is sitting around table. Not if you go, you mustn't necessarily be rude to people before you pass information. No, you see the way you're answering question. Even in all provocation, you still calm down and analyze and present your points, and the people will understand it. You don't really need to be rude. So he doesn't anything leadership. He doesn't have it at all. Let us not just. He should have just been a mobilizer, but it has come to this point. We don't have any option than to continue. We must support this leadership. We must support them, because what they are doing is I understand it more than before, where everything don't go there, don't do this, and they make even their corona. Somebody can be speaking good English and they be a fool when it comes to common sense. Common sense is not common. So, Mazi, that is, I rest my case for now.
Thanks so much. Okay, we have, okay, Mazi, Chika, are you there? Okay, you can have the platform before we also go. Hello. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, I will not take your time because I can see the call is too much. Yes. Yes, I'm hearing you, Mazi. Yes.
Go ahead.
No. Mazi, Chika, the problem here is You know, this call that came into your program this evening or this afternoon, it's like you going to native doctor. Going to native doctor, telling native doctor to leave all the Shawishi and follow you to the church. You know that the honor is very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult to do such a thing. Now, all of us have what they call bank manager anytime you open an account. German have bank manager in that particular account, which is a German woman. This German woman has been lamenting, sending messages, emails to Nnamdi because of the way they are removing money. This guy is not asking about all those things, and he's asking you whether it's true or are you there to confirm. Mazi, I don't need you to take me to heaven for me to know how heaven it is before I will come back again and become born again before I will die and go to heaven. Or it's worse, you have to do all these things. These guys are coming here to ask you whether have you visited Sokoto. Now, many people have visited Sokoto. What is the outcome of that Sokoto? The wife of Nnamdi has visited Sokoto, and many others. What is the outcome of that visiting Sokoto? Only blackmail and the insult. If you can take this to go to Sokoto and come back, what is the outcome? That is the question to leave to him. Others say, who are going to that Sokoto? What is the outcome of all those Sokoto visiting Sokoto? All is blackmail and propaganda. So, Mr. Chika, I really want to appreciate you for coming down to answer questions, to put them in order. But I know, like I said, they can come, let me change you to a Reverend Father. It will not be very difficult. It will not be easy, but we must continue. I just want to keep my voice. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate your contribution. These are really, really good one. Like I said, are open to, talk to people, irrespective of divergent opinions. That is the beauty of life. Good afternoon, Mazi.
Good afternoon, sir.
Biafran. They are all listening.
I'm calling from. Shall I continue?
Go ahead. Introduce yourself and where you're calling from. You go ahead.
My name is Jacob. I'm calling from Uncensored. Like I said before, good afternoon, fellow Biafran. I'm friends of Biafran. I like your teaching. If you call it teaching, because I came late.
This one.
We were ending the program before I came in. But this issue of our people asking questions between Biafra and Nnamdi, you see somebody will open his mouth and say, Nnamdi, I don't understand how they have went such extent. Because what I'm saying that my junior brother was the one who produced him to IPO. But I was surprised to say because from home, from Nigeria, we were discussing. I was surprised that my brother could not understand what we are going through today about the issue of Nnamdi and IPO, how our money and the issue of all these things. So I was kind of presenting these two things to him, to my junior brother, which I know. Do you know what my junior brother told me? He began to rant about Nnamdi Kanu, which is I was very shocked. Back in Nigeria, there are many of our people who don't understand what we're saying. So our people should keep us there. Our people should be more ready to tell them. Because the fact of the way they cannot present himself to our people, it was surprising that most of them, especially some people now, you will try to let them know that this is this. They will feel shifted. That lost. I give my brother every evidence before my brother shut up and say, indeed, he never knows. Most of the people don't know what's going on. They don't know what is going on. When the other guy, what is name from Brazil, he such. I do not understand it. It was when I begin to follow everything step by step, I begin to understand what is going on about this issue of IPOB. You understand me? IPOB will all know that when I took vote to increase the leadership of IPOB, it's as simple as ABC. Now, IPOB cannot receive message direct from our leader. He will always say, they will always say, Nnamdi Kanu said, our leader said, it's either from Ejimako. Ejimako is not IPOB. Ejimako do not take vote with you. Remember that I took vote. Me and my unborn generation, with my education, embedded on the ground. And now, Ejimako, who do not take vote, is giving me order. And you expect me to follow it. Which I don't know whether he took vote, will give me order, and I will follow it. But I give him order. Because since they have been saying that Nnamdi Kanu said this, Nnamdi Kanu said that, Nnamdi Kanu have been coming to court. Nnamdi Kanu have never opened his mouth and told us on one day that I present to IPOB the 100 men. It was from the mouth of Ejimako and the Kanu were here. Nnamdi Kanu never opened his mouth and say, when he comes to Qatar, move all the POS. The people are presented to you. We never had it from him. Remember, Nnamdi Kanu said, anything you do not hear from Chika, don't hear him. Anything you do not hear from the leadership of IPOB, the same leadership of IPOB is what he took out. That he will obey. And today, Kanu will come. And he will say, our leader said, Nnamdi Kanu said, Ejimako will come. Nnamdi Kanu said, our leader said. Because if Nnamdi Kanu cannot come out openly and say so that we'll hear it from his mouth. It's surprising me. But anyway, you people should keep up because these people, I don't know the angle they are coming from. And more or less, these people that are attacking our people, want to talk them, go and look at their profile. They are nothing to write home about. Something concerning POB. They are coming to us. I don't know whether they are being paid or what. I don't understand it. So you people should keep up. You people should not allow this because they don't know anything about what we're doing. So, okay, Chris wrong. As I said, it's Chris wrong. And IPOB is is it a Christian office in Europe or in Africa or in Nigeria or in Biafran? I want to ask, I want to hear from you.
He is not and has never been. He's not.
That is what I was discussing with my parents. That is what I was discussing with my brother. I asked my brother that question, and I told him, my brother, how do you expect me to go and follow this law? But I took hope in Chika. I took hope in Chika. I took hope in Marabuchi, somebody that guy that follows the class of Biafran. I took hope in, but I don't know who is Chris Rock. I don't know who is Chris Rock. I don't know where he's resided. This one will never turn up. And even the day he addressed, I don't know where he did not explain to us where he is, whether it's in America or in Europe or in Africa or in Asia. I don't know. And the day he addressed all these things, blah, 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 when I look at this man, I saw that there is nothing to worry.
Okay, Mazi, we will round off so that we get other people in.
Okay. Keep on. Thank you very much. May God bless you. Push the people and all our people and listen to them. Thank you.
Okay, that is a wonderful contribution. We're not going to spend much time. Very soon we'll be, dropping off. We just want to call. Some people will miss their calls. Okay, Mazi, are you there? Good afternoon from here as well.
Yeah, my name remains Chika. Thank you for your good job.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Today we are talking about your program topic remains dangers of inconsistency in leadership. And we are looking at, from what we've seen from our experience in IPOB, or in critical analysis of Ipob activities so far, we have witnessed lose of life or personnel as one of the dangers of inconsistency in leadership. Secondly, we have seen misappropriation of public funds as part of that cancer in leadership. And we can cite again procrastination or delay in realization of public objective. And this is all we have seen. Under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, let me use Ike as in use of life. Let me of personnel. Ike one of the national coordinator, was a typical example of that. And the misappropriation, we are talking about the how Ipob or German account was rooted today as part of the inconsistency, and in totality, the project of Biafran self-determination, which aims at elevating the welfare of Biafrans globally, which is one of the major concrete or major foundation of Ipob, or major reason Ipob was formed. None of all these things have been attended to, and the Ipob, having taken the steps or building institutionalization as a steps to build stability, which is opposite of the inconsistency we see or witness under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. My question to you is, can you enlighten or throw more light to Biafrans or educate us to see, or to know, or what are the measures? What can we see? I'll look up to us, or what can we be expecting from the leadership as a way to tackle misappropriation of public fund as one of the cancer that can cause procrastination towards realization of Biafran project, please?
Okay, you asked a very good question, and I was listening to somebody, and she made a very strong submission saying that money or finance can be so undermining to a project, even at the individual level, company level, or should I say corporate levels. And the movement is where it is today, whether you like it or not, due to the reckless interference by Kanu in the finance of this movement. That really did a whole lot of undermining. Whether we like it or not, it is. And I believe the members of the leadership are making sure. Somebody called in here, most of you never knew, there is a South African national coordinator. He was amongst those who raised alarm earlier before now, that I think 3 years ago, 4 years ago, raising the alarm of what was going as the way funds were, misappropriated and mismanaged. But people could not really pay attention to him then because the EPA stuff was still going on. But I think in South Africa, they did a very wonderful job. Unlike other places. Other places followed perhaps lately or copying what South Africa did. Because South Africa took a proactive step to mitigate that. And they designed a system, I wish I could even get him back again, where he can, the South African National Coordinator, where he can share back a design they did to make sure such a thing never repeated, by building a whole channel of stages one can go before he could have access to the leadership fund. Not even Chika can even just at the flip of hand and have access to that. South Africa did a wonderful job like that. Do you understand me? And I believe I believe that such a template is being transmitted to a lot of places. And you should also understand that it's not going to be a fire brigade thing. You're talking about national, interest. You're talking about people's asset. So you have to get the best of design to mitigate reoccurrence of such experience. And to the best of my knowledge, that is exactly what the leadership is doing. Because, it's quite unfortunate. I'm not part of those who would blackmail people because of sentiment. Because I so much believe my faith, my philosophy is that whatever I do, if I blackmail people, I own blackmail from nature. I can't run away from it. I believe in the principle of karma. Do you understand me? That whatever one does. But why did I make this statement before going to what I want to say? You can't imagine what these guys have done to a point that somebody like what's it called? The guy in Germany, their in-law in Germany, that the fund of a movement could even be given to him. Actually, chauffeur Gucci, they will just wire him. You don't do that.
Man.
You don't do that. You don't do that. Some people will say, "Oh, why will you? If you don't like it, go and form your own. Form your own." Forming. You understand me? We are talking about being prudent, showing diligence. You know why all these things hurt me a lot? It hurt me a lot because I don't always, I have pride. I don't like being part of a system that looks stupid and foolish. Do you understand me? Like some of the languages that the movement is a brand, is somebody's, you don't even, for somebody, somebody to open his mouth to say that without understanding the implication, the psychological message, is really, really disgusting. So, the best of my knowledge, the leadership is doing everything possible. And like I treated earlier, we're in a struggle. If a state actor, you are calling from Canada or US, if I'm not mistaken, or wherever now, if you look at some of these countries, how they manage their fund, because the life wire of a movement or a country is what she has, her asset. And that's why they design it in a way. Do you know that in US, for those of you that are in US that are following up events in US, do you know that I think the chairman or director of Wall Street, that the president of America, Donald Trump, doesn't like the man or the woman, but he could not even remove the person. Am I correct?
You're right.
I don't know if you have heard that story.
No, I'm aware of that information. About what is the reserve something?
Is American reserve a place? I'm talking about Wall Street. American Center.
That information, just that I didn't go through it.
Go, take your time and go through it. American president doesn't even like the person heading Wall Street. But American system is designed in a way that it doesn't matter whether you like him or not. We are talking about protecting our treasure. Do you see how closely they protected their treasure? Then we now have a design where you can even wire a movement fund to your girlfriend. Where you can even wire your movement fund to your child schooling in UK. And when people say this is abnormalities, somebody will come and tell me, shut up. Are you mad? Is something going on in your mind? Do you know what we are talking about? We're not talking about Umunnakwe community union. We're talking about, and one thing people do not understand is that friends will always want to know how disciplined you are before even relating with you. I don't know if people do not know that. You see, one of those things our people have not really, got sat down to know is this. There are things we think is not important to know. Do you know that secret services all over the world, they know it?
Yeah.
Secret service. Yes, we can be stupid to say it's not important. It happened here. But intelligence agencies all over the world advise other allies or partners who might be interested to work with you and say, don't mind them. Go and look into what their financial record is. These guys are fools. Why would you want to relate with them? Or even though you have interest to relate with them on this area, we advise you not to do it. They are reckless. They are very unguided people. In fact, their treasure is something that they even dip hand and pay hotel for girlfriend. Then tomorrow you see the same one shouting that, why are they talking about Western Sahara? Why are they talking about Somaliland? Why are they are not talking about us? Those guys presented quality.
Yeah.
They presented leadership quality. Success attracts friendship. Now you presented a ragtag movement whereby prophet, what they call it, master prophet, will come on air and say that the price of gas in Germany has increased and the code is much. Now when he go, the next thing, Kanu will wire for him to buy gas, pay bill. Then the world have access to all these transactions. They will be looking at us as fools. Why will you be dealing with animals? What do they have to offer? They are not even disciplined on their own. How much more? Do you think they have what it takes to carry out bigger asset? In Omahia, they are busy building 3-story buildings and all the rest of them. Building houses here and there. Then nobody is talking about those who are even in detention. Immediately, issue of finance started coming. That is when you started running. Some of our people are in wow, let us go. Because they want distractions. I can't walk. I can't associate with such. I can't associate with such person. Because I want to have boldness in whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
So when my conscience is dent or stained, I don't have the boldness. I publicly stumble to talk about myself and things I do because I want, possibly let there be further investigation on what is happening in my account.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? So if we cannot cultivate the act of purity, the act of integrity, when people talk, you want to shut them down, you want to blackmail them into silence. No. It doesn't work that way. So either we wake up to reality. I always tell our people, if we do the right thing, even our politicians are tired of the system. Do you think that somebody like Soludo will not want Ozonna to come down to Anambra where he'll be close and he will talk to him on the culture of the people? But the truth is, but the truth is that, are you bringing the boy in a country that his safety is not even assured? I may see him, our quality men and women will be glad to associate with us. But when we are still parading this attitude of irritating lifestyles, don't blame anybody running away from us. Don't blame anybody. Because it has been proven that everybody, I talked about Simon Ekpa, you use Simon Ekpa to advance certain things. Then the guy run into problem, you turn and start blackmailing him. Now, things seem somehow, you are not shopping, looking for them to also, you must not be, Echo Chanta tomorrow, Jenji, Nde Mazi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Continue the good work.
Yeah. Okay, we still not have to get to my friend who has been calling. Okay, maybe after this person. Okay, good afternoon from here.
Yeah, Mazi, Austine, good afternoon from my location.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for your wonderful program as usual. As always, you always hit the A keda, and you are blessed amongst all men, Mazi, I have to say.
Thanks.
And I'm calling from my location.
Thanks
and greetings to your listeners. Yeah, greetings to your listeners all over the world. You are doing well, Mazi. I know you have exhausted a lot of time. I will not take long. I just want to say one or two things. Mazi, you know, your teaching today, as usual, has been a top class. I just want to say something quickly. Mazi, you know this, I think earlier on, at the beginning of this current phase of distraction, because that is what it is, distraction from these minions and from left, right, and center. I made an observation, and I said, why then? Because someone like me, I used to wonder that how is it really that all the political class, right? All the traditional rulers, all the religious leaders, from both at home and internationally, how is it really that every single quarters, nobody actually looks the way of IPOB and the Biafran agitation? And even when it happens that maybe by chance someone pays any kind of attention temporarily, before you know it, you don't get to hear from them again. Like it was almost like, just like as you said a little bit earlier as well, that maybe if anyone tries to pay attention, and then by the time they get to see one or two things, they say no need, all right? But unfortunately, we were perhaps still carried away, because every time we must continue to take responsibility for ourselves, not being so much on guard. I think for certain reasons, we really gave too much. I think we gave too much. Will I call it adulation? In a way, it's a weakness, but hopefully, I will hope we have overcome it by now. But that too much adulation made us to, we just labeled everyone, on a blanket, as if, okay, once they come and they go away, we just take it as, it's the normal people, it's the sellers, it's the fulefu, it's the that, it's the saboteurs. But now, with the benefit of hindsight now, I think it makes more sense now that naturally, even though we don't absorb the Nigerian political class and how dirty the world is, but now we can see that truly, there were really things terrible enough within the movement that were strong enough to even turn people away. Exactly. I mean, real people that matter. I think with the benefit of hindsight, and on top of that, Mazi, you talked about the recklessness of Kanu and the other family members. But I think at this time, Mazi, we should be able to now name people properly and call a spade, right? And like I always say, that is not to say we are throwing away the baby and the bathwater. But I think by now, if we say the recklessness of Nnamdi and Kanu, we should also say, unfortunately and sadly, the recklessness of former leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as well, in all aspects of this discourse. We cannot continue to just name the Kanuta and Ninaya and others and even the big fish all the time, because I think, like the question that brother earlier on asked you, trying to gaslight you, to ask you, do you think? No. By this time, I think we have seen enough, all right, to draw a reasonable conclusion. It's not about propaganda, it's not about generalization, but I think we have seen enough to be able to draw useful conclusions, right? That, look, the man who so loved himself was not spared. And okay, Mazi, but just lastly, let me just leave this as a question, Mazi. Sorry, I know I've taken some time, but I just want to ask Biafrans. Maybe, hopefully, I will get the opportunity in our maybe X program. If I have the opportunity, I will also expand on it. But let me ask this question, Mazi. Maybe Biafrans or callers can also respond. This adventure that Kanuta and his minions, flying monkeys, have traveled to Israel to be doing. Do they really think, or how will I put the question? What do they think that actually speak of about the 9 years plus that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was leading IPOB actively and telling us about diplomacy and lobbying to Israel? If in 2026, Kanu is now introducing himself as an agitator and now introducing IPOB to just a Knesset member in Israel. Mazi, I don't know if you understand. What does that say? Yes, in 2026. So we are just introducing ourselves to not even the Prime Minister, not even a top flying minister in Israel, but a member of the Knesset. We are just introducing ourselves. So I really don't know how these guys, how done. I mean, well, some things happen for me. Let me answer.
You see, don't hang on because we are just closing shortly. You see, one thing you know.
Okay.
We have to just be open to understanding the bitter events that happened. One of the best things that happened, this is my personal submission, one of those things that happened in this struggle is the current situation. Are you there? Is the current situation is the best thing that happened. Do you know that even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trip to Israel was a jamboree, was more of a jamboree? Ask yourself, why is it that after he came to Israel and left, Israeli IPOB number reduced to almost 90%? It's reality. It's reality. Because, look at what happened. I think they went to Israel, made it open, isn't it? Where diplomacy is supposed to be secret, they made it open. Now, where his trip to Kenya is supposed to be open, they made that one secret. I don't know if you understand me.
Yes, of course. I mean,
his trip,
it's very obvious.
His trip in Kenya is supposed to be an open thing, where the people will know where their leader was. They made that one secret too. That one became 100% underground work, secret. Now, diplomacy that's supposed to be conducted secretly, they are making that one open. They are just jokers, man. It's quite unfortunate. They are just jokers. Where supposed to be open is made secret, and where is secret is now, where supposed to be secret is now made open. That is to tell you the joke. Thanks so much.
Yes, and Mazi, sorry, just because you said they are jokers, right? Unfortunately, they actually knew that they are jokers, and that is why, if you watch what they have done, right, their decision to pivot to the fan base of the Ekperima in Finland was a very deliberate one, because they understand that a bunch of the people that followed Ekperima in Finland were the fickle-headed ones, the jokers, the overtly emotional ones amongst the agitation. So what they have done now is to easily go back there so that they can get people they can continue to play that gamble with, knowing fully well that the actual core IPOB family has woken up essentially and are no longer prepared to take the shit that were being fed for the past 12 years.
Exactly.
Let me thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for that great contribution. We're just winding down, but I have to call. Okay, hello, are you there?
Yeah, my brother, I'm here.
You're highly welcome.
My brother, I'll just take a very little bit of your time. And it is about, I know you are a man of geopolitics and history, yes? And so, I want to talk about the jamboree they went to Israel. I want to pose a question to every Biafran, whether you are interested or you are knowledgeable about geopolitics or not. Just think about this. If America is the oxygen of Israel, if Britain and Europe are also oxygen of Israel, do you then think that Israel will remove their mouth from the milk they are sucking? Do you think that Israel is suicidal by doing that? Do you know the amount of cover, diplomatic cover, that America and Europe altogether give to Israel? And so, how do you think that Israel will undermine them by giving you Biafra? My people think.
Well, don't rush out. I believe you asked question, and we can also respond to it swiftly. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am, my brother. I am.
You see, sometimes we have attitude to blame state actors in our matters when we have not even presented any matter. Objectively, let us speak to ourselves. You going to meet a Knesset member does not mean you are meeting the government of Israel. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, I get you.
Every relationship that is internationally based has the channels at which you get those relationships solidified or communicated to the state actor. That is why we have, in every country, they have what they call Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and depends the country and what they call it. Do you understand me? They are there to look into, like if you come to US, you're talking about Department of State.
Yeah.
So you don't just go and meet a member of the Congress and you now say, oh, you have briefed American government. Are you mad? The member of the Congress, even though you want to meet a member of the Congress, you cannot target a member of the Congress that is in the Committee of Foreign Affairs. If you come to Senate or Congresses, there is committees. There is a Committee of Foreign Affairs or international affairs. All depends what it's called. When you meet a member of that committee, that is when you are even making a reasonable step. Not when you meet a Congress member who is in charge of rural development. Who is a member of Committee of Rural Development in America or Water Technology. Then you come out and snap picture on a member of the. Are you mad? I don't think you understand. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
So you have not even met. Ask them the Knesset member they met. Which committee does it belong to? They don't even know. But because they are desperate to snap picture with the white man, they believe that our people will always appreciate white color.
And buy it and swallow it.
Good.
Yeah.
If
that's what we have been doing.
If they are serious, which takes a whole lot of intellectual investment, they should have written Israeli Minister of Foreign Affairs or written to Knesset Committee on Foreign Affairs. But they will not, because they are not serious. They are just there for joke. They are just there to... Because gullibility na bawa mobi. Gullibility.
My brother, listen to this. Why I was sad when I was seeing the show of shame is that if you know the amount of help that is coming from Europe and America to Israel, both to economic, both to military, both to diplomatic, and you think that they will just throw everything overboard because you want to snap a picture or they want to give you Biafra.
The truth, Mazi, in diplomacy.
And one Knesset man, this is my brother, one Knesset man, they cornered. The man may not know anything about Biafran. Maybe they have a lobbyist, Rachel, who grabbed the man and say, I need you to take picture of these people to make my work shine. We have seen enough pictures. We want to deliver it. We want to Biafran.
Ndewo. Mazi onwe ka m sụọ asụsụ a n'asụsụ anyị. Oge ndị ndu anyị, ndị DOS chọrọ imepe nwekọrịta with ndị Sahel. Ịmaka si mepe ọfịs n'ebe a.
Nna hapụ ihe anyị chọrọ
ngwa ka m hapụ ya. Ịghọtago ihe m na-akọ.
Mgbala nwere ntị na akwụkwọ ndị be anyị.
Mana achọrọ m ịtapịa n'asụsụ Igbo. Ka ndị iberibe aghọta nzuzu. Ka ndị iberibe aghọta nzuzu ha na-ezuzu. It is well, nsogbu adịrọ. Ekene m gị n'ike ma ọ bụ n'ukwu. Maka na ọwụ sọsọ onye nwụrụ anwụ ka a na-agbazi olu, a na-agbazikwa ndị dị ndụ. Njisike. Okay, we just have to. Let me call him. I call my friend. He has been calling. He will be the last speaker, then we'll close for today. Time is almost. Okay, Mazi, are you there?
Yes, Mazi, I'm here. Mazi.
Thanks for your patience. Thanks for your patience.
No problem. I was muted the problem. It's just that I didn't know. This service sometimes doesn't. I was even listening to the last one.
Okay, it's all right.
See if you feel. Let me call back.
It's all right.
Mazi. There is one of this, my friend. Let me start from there. One of the things that makes me love him so much is that he's so down to earth that whenever he makes mistakes, he wants to, that he will even transport his stuff to the place where he knows that the person that will be calm in order to teach him that very English he didn't understand, or that communication that they did that he didn't understand. He's so open to learn. That is why if you go to Europe today now, you know that they have militaries that cannot write their names?
Yes.
But do you know that atmosphere, as in how the nation is being structured, when it goes to them, they be like everybody read and went to university and come out, everybody is well polished and read. No.
You're quite correct.
You understand? And the same case is not, something is not the same case when it comes to Africa. When it comes to Africa, you can see poverty, illiteracy, written, even without communicating with anybody. Where I was going to say that our people are people that was revered as people, very knowledgeable people, a noble people. But it's so sad that they are children of today, ask some questions. Because one of the things I learned so much is, if you send me to an era, do you know that out of the way I keep calm when you were sending those errands or when all of those things were going on, I can go to that one era and do like 3, 4, 5 things that is necessary to do. And that is why I don't normally ask questions, because there are so many reasons that at that time you're asking that question. Maybe the people around that broadcast might have known all of those things. That is why I know that before I was listening to 2 to 3 broadcasts, I would have understand those things. I have never for one day asked questions. If there is anything that is so confusing to me, what I do is I subject to myself in terms of reasoning those issues, following so many broadcasts and all of those things. Within a few days, I will just understand without nobody telling me. I don't know if it's out of ignorance or out of sentiment or what, that somebody will come and be asking all of these questions. But I will forgive him, because there was when we generally behave like that. Because you know that Nigeria State, most of the politicians were telling us that Nnamdi Kanu was the rogue, pointing out financial this and that. But due to our love for him, but I will excuse ourselves, because oh God. And there are sometimes you will review things and it will cause big damage. At that time, we are rallying ourselves together. It is not a time that you need to start bringing up financial issues that will make people not to even follow up to today. I believe that the sacrifice we have done up to today, whether it was mismanaged or whatever, it still has impact, because today we still have ourselves in order to make amends of the things that have gone wrong.
Yes.
Mazi, do you know that we have been the greatest problem to our because I used to ask this question myself, that why is it that despite all of our activism, our agitation, the death and all of those things, why have the international community have not put mouth in our issues? But I now come to answer that same question as how you dress, even normally dressing, how you dress, transfer on how people approach you or how people address you. We have packaged and present this agitation in a very childish and unprofessionally position that have made people distance themselves. Even this distance have even reflected to our own politicians not to have anything with us. An agitation that by now, Nigerians, even despite that they have been on their knees, today it is as if we are still starting afresh. And the Ghana where I said now in you will be sorry. As in Okubidi, you are the way as all your banner maybe I don't know. We are talking of all the things this man have done. Do you know that every day you remember one thing that will make you be angry of what Mazi Nnamdi is doing today? Yet, this man is now telling us, revealing to us that all those samples and all of those things he was doing, that is how he was tricking us. Because it shows from this stone, that they went to Israel to go and. So that is how Mazi Nnamdi was, that is his best antics in order to trick us. But I don't know why we are so domestically strong. You have this childish means to treat you people that have dedicated themselves, that you do not have a sophisticated way to confront the Nigerian government. And do you know that we have been asking lots of questions like, what happens to our finance? Then what happens to the agitation since all of these years that we have been dying, protesting and doing all of those things? Mazi Nnamdi can have no diplomatic effort that he has done that the DOS can fall back to, or the Biafran in general can fall back to. That is why I said it, that the things are still, we are starting afresh. But I will end with this. That that is why if you are confused, you must make sure that you look at the language that is coming from Sokoto and the so-called siblings. And the general public that is pointing at issues. That alone is subjective to proper thinking. Because if you don't have that quality, that as an energy to look at these areas, you will not be able to ask yourself some certain questions before you come in public to ask ourselves. Mazi, I would say, may Elohim bless you, bless all the, especially the media. And that is people who want to teach our people. Thank you so much.
That's all. Okay, we are drawing down, but we have somebody who called him from Asia. Let's just give Asians the opportunity to close up the very program. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, my brother. Good evening from location here. I'm from, thank God, Ipob calling you from Mexico.
Okay, there we go.
I appreciate your patience and your lecture. You know, as the world doesn't resolve according to each and every one of us reasons. It's the principles and the properties are there. If you go there and do it the way the Chinese did it, it will work for you.
God bless you.
The way the Russians do it, it will work for you. In short, they copy. Everything is copy. If you see what is how it's working for the other fellow. You copy it and do it for you.
Indigenalize it.
So
yes.
why should we ignore it and just believe on something that just believe that there is something that we do it, then which means we are deceiving ourselves. That is called self-deception. People, information is power. People are paying to spy other countries, even risking the life of their citizens. If you go to America, there are Russian spies, their citizens, their life jail or whatever. If you go to Russia, the same thing. It's science and technology, and what you are teaching our people here is part of it. So we cannot run away from the reality. Just because, okay, look at now, the way we reason in this world, which country can we compete? We are seen running away as part of an investment. We will sell our land, sell whatever, just to run to another man's country for survival. But the same brain, the same people have, it's the same brain we have. So we don't think how we can be productive. But you spend so much money than what the person that will employ you in abroad will not spend to establish you. So, for example, now, my brother, if we have a bad road, and you know that bad road, without the vehicle being inspected, without the driver, if he has a health challenges or health issue, nobody knows. Even in the back, he will be drinking, smoking. And when you get to the vehicle conveying many passengers to a road that no speed limit indication, nothing. And even the vehicle, nobody trusts you. And somebody will come with the Bible and say that he covered that vehicle with the blood of Jesus. They will come and they will go and come, nothing will happen. Then another road that you have all these things in a place, if you cover it with the blood of a devil, so which one will succeed? So let us just believe on reality. Okay, like that guy that called before that was giving you too much mimious, kind of justification. I don't know if it is ignorant or if he really wants to know if it is pretending. But my advice to him and people that reasons like him is that some of us have gone beyond this level of reason. And if you want to learn, then you will come as a student. You know that there is a relationship between the teacher and the student. The teacher are not there for free. They must receive for giving you those information. The same way when you go to church, you pay the pastor for deceiving you. But you are coming to Chika for you to be productive. So you have to listen to him as a teacher and establish that you really want to know. So he will guide you. Because his point is trying to raise is like the authenticity of the documents. If you want to talk about the authenticity of the government, of the documents, let's assume that the way he takes the authenticity of what the lawyer said that Nnamdi Kanu said, and he accepts it. The way he thinks that somebody visited Nnamdi Kanu or Nnamdi Kanu's sibling, the way he's accepting those authenticity, it's the same way he will accept this authenticity of these documents. He can also go and verify. So not the people like him should know that this is how it works. My brother, this fraud, why I don't understand is that why did it take you people so much for you to unravel this propaganda lies of Nnamdi Kanu? Because this thing has been from day one. And the why Nnamdi Kanu come to this extent, our people have been sustaining the lies and propaganda. Even the people that knows that yes, these things are lies and propaganda, and they continue sustaining it. Now the little lion that had been nurtured, now he's become as an adult, and he come back to bite us. So what I want to ask now is that if we accept fraud in Ipob or Biafran land, but we will not accept fraud in Nigerian government, why are we trying to establish Biafra? What is the difference between Biafra and Nigeria?
Mazi, there is no place for using the word we accepting, because if we're accepting it, I can't be here doing what I'm doing. You should know. You too, you cannot be where you are opinionating in line of being anti-corruption and fraud. So we are not accepting it. And this, what is happening now also shows the global community that we are not intended with corruption. We are not intended with evil. Because ordinarily, if we are comfortable with it, I used to tell somebody, I said, if I play within the gallery of Kanu will pay me hugely. I will smile home with a good morning. Do you understand me? Somebody was recently saying they were looking for people to, bloggers to be paying for PR. They think they were saying that the DOS have damaged the image of the former leader, and all this, and they are looking for PR. And I told the person, I said, it's difficult to get people because what we are doing for this movement is organic. Anybody you're paying to work for you has a limit of discharging that duty. Why it seems as if the members of the DOS are every day, watching their enemies fizzle out is because those behind them are there because we do not want corruption, this movement to experience corruption. And also, it's also a deterrent to them. Because, I say, Akabajigwe, Ojatu Oshishi. Am I correct? If they could see the way the Biafran people rose against their former leader because of recklessness, because of indiscipline, then those of them in leadership, the Directorate of State, we also know that they are also not above same measure. Because at a time as Nnamdi Kanu was untouchable, you dare not discuss his ill doings. But we stood and said, no, it is not good. Don't be upright, be straight. If you're white, be white. If you're black, you're black. You cannot be supporting somebody to be destroying the land and they say you are not with him. Whereas everything, soul and body, you are with him. So, the issue is that we are not in support of corruption. And the leadership I know also have never. You two that spoke, I don't think you have also been part of aiding and abetting corruption. So, what the sign we are sending out to the world out there is to know that, look, an individual's lifestyle does not represent the generality of the lifestyle of the people of Biafra. That is exactly the message we are sending to the international community, to everywhere. Because things you people think you don't know, the global communities are aware. Intelligence agencies are there and they know. And they brief their country. They guide them in their policy towards relating with the struggle. Are you going to relate with this person? Do you know where he is? Look at what he's doing. Look at how they recklessly manage their fund. The intelligence agency, the foreign intelligence agencies are aware, and they brief their homeland countries. Then tomorrow they start shouting, and of course, we also always look for a story that will console us. Some of us will say, I try because I will Jacob, Abraham, Hannah, but you know those terrible stories. People will definitely come to you for help. People will definitely come to work for you. That is what it is. If you're transparent, if you're clean, even your enemy will want to wish no again. It does happen. I see him as a but in a situation I can now go to age lego on her. GK among members of the family. Somebody na create 3 drama na Street of Israel. As if attack anyone. Ndewo Mazi.
Okay, my brother. Thank you for your response. Continue. You are not done. We are with you.
Ndewo. Okay, at this very moment, we have to come to the end of this program. We have to come to the end. So I want to attack every single one of us who contributed immensely, remain strong, and above all, remember, our supreme leader is the Biafra. That is it. That is the supreme objective. That is the supreme dream. From here, I want to say, have a best of day.